Brazil! Yeah, time for another UFC card review. This is for UFC Fight Night. Fight Night between, with Machida versus Anders as the main event. Lyoto, Machida, and Eryk Anders. At the Arena Guilherme Paes, I think I'm saying that right because it's Brazil, in Belém, in Brazil. And, awkward intro aside because I'm known for doing those, we're just going to get right to the thing. So let's do the thing. I like doing the thing. Let's do the thing. We start with the first prelim fight between Yuri Alcantara and Joe Soto, and Alcantara won by TKO in the first round at 1 minute and 6 seconds in. And I'm going to give this one an up. It was fairly back and forth, like it was enjoyable for as long as it lasted. But Alcantara, like, he outclassed Soto and eventually just landed a really good, I think it was a knee to the body, and that's what felled Soto, and then he followed that up with some great punches on the ground. The ref stepped in and stopped the fight. And Alcantara got usually performs the night bonus for it, which was well deserved. So, yeah, I mean, Alcantara executed his game plan perfectly, got a good win, got performance of the night, nothing to complain about. Just a big, nice, lovely up. In the next one, we had two women making their full-on UFC debuts with Maya Stevenson against Preliana Viana. And Viana won in round 1 by a rear naked choke submission, and it was really good. It was 3 minutes 50 seconds in, and it was a freaking jiu-jitsu clinic. It looked so clean. Like, she got taken down fairly early on by Stevenson, but managed to sort of get an armbar and use the leverage from that to get herself up. Then she threw some good strikes, closed the distance, and got a standing DOS locked in. She didn't finish it with that. She got a standing DOS locked in, then tried to turn that into a guillotine, but Maya fell backwards. Viana joined her on the ground and ground and pounded her really well. She's got some good ground and pound. And eventually, Maya just gave up her back, and Viana got the rear naked choke, and it was over pretty quickly after that. I enjoyed this fight. Gets another up. Viana definitely impressed me with her debut. I'm going to watch out for her a lot more. So, yeah, 2-0 to the up so far. Good fight. And the next fight is between Alan Patrick, not Alan Patrick, Alan Patrick, because we're in Brazil, remember, against Damir Hadjovic from Denmark. And Patrick won by unanimous decision, and this fight also gets an up. I mean, it was pretty one-sided in Patrick's favour, but he did do a good enough job. I feel like Hadjovic didn't really... He didn't go down without a fight. Like, he had some really good moments, but Patrick's, like, takedowns were way too good for him, and... good ground and pound, good standard striking, but it was his wrestling that was the biggest factor in him winning. So yeah, I really liked it. Let me move my laptop camera aside so I look more in the center because it looks a bit weird. But I don't know why I looked over there. There's nothing there except my cat, who is asleep. I might be waking him up. No, he's still asleep. So yeah, get some up. So that's 3-0. Really good. And we're gonna go on to the main event of the prelims. And next is the main event of the prelims between Tim Means and Sergio Moraes, and Moraes won by split decision, not unanimous. And I feel like that was the right call. It did get up because it was an exciting enough fight. Even though I like Tim Means a lot more and don't want him to lose, I definitely feel like he did enough to win at least one round of this fight. One thing he needs to do for my money is use a lot more kicks, because when he was using kicks and throwing punches after them, he landed really well, but Moraes managed to class him, got some good takedowns, but his swinging and surprisingly precise boxing was what got him the win ultimately, Moraes. Means has a very technical game. It doesn't work for him all the time, though. I think he needs to be a bit more aggressive sometimes. He needs to open up with more kicks. But it was still a good fight. Good way to cap with the prelims, so I'm going to give it an up. Even though I don't like saying Tim Means lose. But I did like the fight, so yeah, 4-0 to the ups, and we're going to move on to the main card now. The first fight of the prelims, the main card is Anthony Smith versus, I forgot who it was, I'm so stupid, Thiago Santos, and Santos won by TKO in round 2 after landing a body kick and following up with punches 1 minute and 3 seconds into the second round. And it got the fight of the night, and it gets an up for that. I mean, it was a really good fight back and forth. Anthony Smith lives up to his nickname of Lionheart each time I see him fight. Even though I rarely see him win, the dude is tough. Like, he's got half a days. And yeah, obviously I feel like Thiago deserved the win. He landed a great body kick, but it didn't land full on. It sort of glanced with like the end of the foot and the toes on Anthony's liver. But if past experience has taught me anything of UFC, it's that you don't need to land a full force strike. You can land something that's just enough and still get the win, as long as it's accurate enough, you know. So yeah, this was a really good win for Thiago Santos, his fourth straight knockout or TKO finish in a row, I believe. So yeah, he's definitely still one to watch. Anthony Smith, he does need to pick it up again, but he's an exciting fighter, but he needs to be a much better fighter than just exciting, I think. But I do still enjoy watching him fight. So yeah, gets an up, probably the biggest up of the night because it was the fight of the night. I'm going to move on now. Next up was Douglas Da Silva de Andrade against Marlon Vera, and Andrade won by unanimous decision. Once again, this fight is going to get an up. It would probably be my second pick for fight of the night if the previous one didn't exist. It was super exciting back and forth. Vera's the much taller guy between the two, but Da Silva did some very odd things, especially with one of the random backhead sways that he did for no reason, because Vera wasn't even attacking at that time. But yeah, this was still a pretty good fight. It was definitely back and forth enough. It was super duper exciting. Andrade won. He deserved to get the win. I believe he did land some better strikes. He got a good few knockdowns, especially in round 2. So yeah, nothing really to complain about. Just a solid, really good fight. Gets an up, so it's 6-0. Moving on. We do, however, get our first down of the night next, between Marcelo Golm and Timothy Johnson. And Johnson won by unanimous decision. Now, I like Timothy Johnson, but he is not exciting at all. And this fight was just boring. When they were broken apart and landing standard strikes, it was good. But for the most part, it was in the clinch. And there was some good strikes there and there, but not really enough for it to have carried on for as long as it did, which was all 3 rounds. I wasn't a particularly big fan of this fight. It gets a down, so that's 6-1 to the ups. It was just all around kind of boring. I wasn't a super huge fan of how they handled it. It's not like it's written or anything. How Timothy Johnson performed. He did well enough. He played a safe game and he got the win, so I can't really argue with that. But it wasn't. I don't know. I just kind of felt sleepy throughout it. Yeah. Even the crowd was super bored, and I was like, yeah, no. I know for a fact that the Brazilian crowd are passionate, but even I'm like, yeah, no, I agree with them. This is kind of boring. Also, side note about this event. Actually, I'll get to that in the co-main event. You might like it. It's a weird little factoid. Or in the main event. Yeah, the main event. So, a few more fights to go. Moving on. But yeah, this fight gets it down. 6-1. Next up, we had a fight between Michel Prazeres and Desmond Green, and this will get it down as well. It was slightly more exciting than the fight between Johnson and Golm, but not by a lot. Desmond Green, for his debut, didn't really impress me, and I think I've seen Michel fight a few times. He came in overweight. He came in at 161, and this was a lightweight fight, so 155. So he was off by about 5 pounds because 156 is the maximum weight limit. So nerdy facts and shit. But this fight was also kind of boring. There were a lot of moments where they just wrestled a lot, and Desmond Green kept holding on, trying to escape. There was a controversial moment in round 1 where that happened, actually, because it was a weird sort of flat down sprawl position, and Desmond was on his front, and Michel, I'm just going to call him that, was on top of him, and landed some strikes to what appeared to be the back of the head. And the fans didn't like that, and the referee stopped it, and we all thought that he was stopping it due to the strikes to the back of the head. But no, it's because Desmond really didn't do anything. He just laid flat on his stomach and didn't do anything. I was like, yeah, to be honest, Desmond didn't really impress me. Michel impressed me a little bit, but not much. This fight was not fantastic. It gets it down, ultimately. I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of it. But we're going to move on now. We then move on to the co-main event of the evening between Valentina Shevchenko and Priscila Cachoeira. And Valentina Shevchenko won in round 2 by Eryk Anders 4 minutes 25 seconds and got herself the other performance of the night bonus. And this fight is going to get up, so that's 7-2 to the ups. And it was a really good fight. I think this might be the best I've ever seen Shevchenko fight. She completely stomped all over Cachoeira. She landed some really, really good strikes, like some of the best boxing I've ever seen her do. She landed some great takedowns, got some great ground and pounds. She didn't waste her time on the ground at all. And she almost got a couple of submissions in round 1, but it was round 2 where things started to change, where eventually Cachoeira was forced to give up the back in round 2, and Shevchenko got the rear naked choke win. Really, really good, solid stuff, solid fight. Just great performance by Shevchenko. She definitely deserved the bonus award for it. So, yeah, so it's 7-2. We're going to move on to the main event. Oh no. Finally, we have the main event between Lyoto, the Dragon Machida, and your boy, Eryk Anders. I just like the nickname your boy. And Machida won by unanimous decision. No, split decision. And this fight is gonna get it down, I'm afraid. I mean, it was super exciting, like, back and forth enough, but I'm giving it down because I don't think Machida did enough to win. Sorry, like, the mouse is in a weird place on the screen. It looks like if I open my mouth, I'm gonna eat it. Okay, I'm gonna move that out of the way. Sorry. But yeah, Machida did not really do enough to win, in my opinion. I feel like he was good, but Eryk Anders was way better, and I feel like he did a lot more to get the win. I was not super pleased with the call at the end of this fight. I don't think Machida should have won it. I like Machida, don't get me wrong, I really do, but he did not do enough in my eyes to have gotten the win, and Eryk Anders did way, way more. So, yeah, and then we're going to get to that fun fact. So, pretty much every Brazilian that won on this card, like, there were 11 fights. Obviously, I couldn't say one of them because I was on the Fight Pass. And 9 of those Brazilians won. The 2 that lost had undefeated records going into the UFC. Like, that's crazy. I hope they do. There is, like, the Fight Pass dude, which I don't know. But bonus content, this is what you paid 0 money for. Oh no, this dude on the prelim card, on the Fight Pass, also had an undefeated record. But I don't count that, because I didn't see that fight. So, yeah, 2 of the losers had an undefeated streak, and those were the 2 of the fights I saw. So I am not going to count this. And to be honest, Eryk Anders was also undefeated until the main event with Machida. So I'm still right. I'm just saying. No, I'm not. I'm kind of an idiot. But anyway, that'll do it for this UFC card review. I liked it. I thought it was a good card. Probably gets a 7 out of 10 for me. It was one of the better ones so far of the year. I do wish not so many fights went the distance as always, but those that did, like, most of them pretty exciting, except for the 2 I really didn't like. And the Machida and Anders fight was good enough, but I don't agree with the call, because I feel like Anders did more to win. And I will say it was just a solid card. It was good. It was good. And that's about it. I will see you all tomorrow, actually, because I've got a huge announcement vlog planned, and I'm pretty excited about it, I'm not going to lie. As always, thank you for listening. You're awesome. Bye.